More griffventures of Griff, where Griff manages to good luck, have fun first. He certainly won that little war, and oh, just like a biscuit behind there for a couple seconds, but his income is slightly better off than his opposing player, which is ArcaneCream. How would you even apply that? You need at least 70 mana to apply ArcaneCream, and then it would just fail when the Fire Cream came out with a new build. Sorry, I'm getting all far too dirty for you. There's ArcaneCream. Since it's a 1v1 map, ArcaneCream sends his there. I'm going to switch up to there. The Overlord goes right out because it is just a two-player map, so you know exactly where your opponent is. This is, I'm going to go with Daybreak because I think that's the one it is. Steady Worker Supply. This, of course, being where the Friday Faff usually is, and sometimes the Friday Faff is a griffventure of Griff, if you could call it that, or it's straight-up Friday Faff, but I like to mix it up, so there's just a bit of back and forth. And, you know what this is? I realize that there's actually a name for this. This is a cold cast. Yes, I get the name of the match when Griff sends me the replays, or he just puts them in a folder and I pick them up. No, he's going for a quick sneaky thing, and it doesn't look like... See, when he does that, that's probably going to wander through all these. Or is he going to go around? Oh, you clever little probe, not getting mixed up with all those nasty drones who just want to chip at the little probies. That's all they want to do. They want to nip at your little bottom. And try and find you to make sure that you're not trying to do a cannon rush. So there you go. Drone and the Overlord having a cross-map race. Looks like the drone takes the lead. Oh, coming up around the side, and the drone up on the outside of the rim, and the Overlord is only just passing the Zelnaga watchtower, but the drone makes it up the ramp first, and it's the drone by a tentacle. That's all the way around to find out that Griff is in the middle of his first gateway. Got his gas down, but Griff is also taking the first Zelnaga tower. Anyway, what I was saying is this is apparently me doing a cold cast. Didn't know there was a difference. I mean, I thought HD and Husky, they usually do cold casts because they don't know the outcome of the game. Day 9 doesn't do a lot of cold casts, mostly because it's far more entertaining because he sort of knows what's going on. His is more an entertainment show, where some people can try to be entertaining based on not knowing the outcome of the match, which is what I'm doing right now. So, I don't know. You tell me. Am I good at cold casting or am I bad at cold casting? Basically, I just try to keep talking. This little probie is still making a pretty decent little map control, or just sort of enough vision for Griff to know whether there's any kind of sneaky cheese coming. There goes this drone. Oh! Griff decides to... Oh! Playing a little possum there, making sure that nothing's going on. But, at this point, ArcaneCream knows that Griff has no expansion. Nothing going on there, which is fine. Also moving out this Overlord over in this direction. Really good Overlord spread going on there, but Griff does have a decent idea as to what's happening. There is some metabolic boost with some Zerglings on their way, so it's 4-4, pretty steady and even. Could probably use a little bit. Oh, got me there. Look at that. A little bit of chrono boost on that Cyber Core. He's got one gateway coming up behind it. He's a little low on some of that minerals and gas, because at about halfway you probably want your other one or two. Doesn't look like he has much of a forward probe at a forward pylon, but that's because Zerglins took out his forward probe while I wasn't paying attention. I gotta look down here at the mini-map a little bit more and find that. Boom! There's an expansion going on there. ArcaneCream's Queen. ArcaneCream's Queen. I can say that a million times. ArcaneQueen's Cream. Oh, no. ArcaneQueen's Cream. I saw that movie the other night on Skinamax. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Griff is still trying to get his army out. He's on a 2-gate robo. No expo. But might get a free Overlord out of it, which is not going to affect ArcaneCream all that much. Robotics facility and only 2 gates does seem to be kind of a limited number. The creep tumor has started out, so ArcaneCream did manage to get a little bit of creep spread going on there. Now, does he have... They have... Yep, ArcaneCream's got 2 queens. So the larva injects are probably going to be, well, let's say not bad. This larva inject is just fine. No, for that matter, let's have a look at the APM. Yes, pretty much on par with 35 each, just as an average. There goes another one of the injects. ArcaneCream having a quick little peek up the ramp, realizing that, yep, he's got an army supply of 6, and Griff's got an army supply of 11. That's precisely what he figured out just then. Trust me, that's exactly what he found out. ArcaneCream, however, has a really nice spread of units. They have both towers, 2 overlords all over the place. Now the problem here is Griff has only got this observer. Not really helping him out all that much. The Twilight Council is on its way down, so the question is, what's he going to put in that Twilight Council? Finally finished with the 3rd gate. So it now is an official 3-gate robo. Let's see what happens to this Twilight Council. Right here in the production tab, absolutely squid-ass nothing. So there is the 2nd observer, which is an intriguing development, whereas Griff is coming over here to make sure that there is something at the 2nd base. Yes, by the 7-minute mark, normally a Zerg has expanded. There you go. The more you know. The more you know, the less you play. Pretty even on the army supply. ArcaneCream getting way ahead just because of the 2 bases. Griff's got enough for a high of just seconds ahead. Seconds ahead. But at the same time, probably ready for, yep, you can warp it another round, but instead of warping it around, oh, there comes something. What do we have there? We've got 1 sentry. Could maybe do with 1 more sentry. I like to have at least 2. Sometimes I overdo it. In fact, most of the time I overdo it. Now we got 2 observers, just in case one breaks down. Could, you know, run out of plasma shields. It could happen. You never know. The arcane. Oh, I did it. I need to have some sort of pinch myself or take a drink penalty for that. But I was just about to say that ArcaneCream does have an Overlord at a few of the expansions. I'm not quite sure what this one's doing other than just kind of watching the ramp, which is probably a really good idea. This one maybe being, I don't know, sneaky. Here's, oh, this might be a patrol? Maybe? Could be a patrol, could not be. Where did the other one go? There's another. I do that a lot more often than I think. So there's Griff checking things out, and he sees that there is the lair on the way. I can't get over this Overlord spread. This is really very excellent on the behalf of ArcaneCream. Meanwhile, Griff is getting yet another gateway up here at the front of the gate. Probably could do with more than that, but I think at this point, oh, definitely hitting up the gas at the moment, because, yeah, Griff makes a lot more zealots than me, so therefore he has a lot of gas left over. 3 and 3. Doesn't bother with the gas on the expansion, that's fine. Also doesn't bother with much of a split, but then again, how are we doing up here? Yeah, we're pretty decent. Oh, he does that. Alright. So there's 2 methods of that. You can either split and keep sending your probes to the same bases that they were sending to before, or you can just send both of them to this new base. Ah, good. Now he's got 2 sentries there. So it's actually a really even game aside from the worker supply. So the income is probably a little bit skewed. And ooh, yes, the Zerg is definitely getting quite a lot more. I almost Ooh, the APM is going crazy. But yeah, the Zerg is getting more minerals, which means that the Zerg is also getting more army. Oh, there's another one. But they do seem to be staying on top of their larva injects, but there's no 3rd base. You'd think you have a 3rd base by now, especially given the fact that you have total map control. Look at that. You know exactly where Griff is. You effectively have him contained. Either that or he's just sort of self-contained. Did get down the 2 additional assimilators. Kind of, no, see, we need more down there. But if you look up here in the production tab, it's doing all right. Ground level +1. A little late on that. What the hell is glial reconstruction? Getting his charge for zealots, which is usually what he likes to have. That's pretty cool. What kind of attack? Overseer +1 attack on the Zerglings, +0 on the missile attacks. So, did I see macro hatch to spend? Well, it's not like ArcaneCream has too much money or anything like that. I believe, I'm trying to remember, I think this, there we go, there comes the 3rd base. This match was actually referred to as, what was it? It was, decent muta defense was the specific title of it, and he's even put a cannon up there behind his base. Chronoing out nothing there, probably just the arse end of the charge finishing off. Meantime, Griff really could probably be doing a little bit more, because he's just looking at the back end there, but I he might be sending this observer over here to find out if there is a third base, and I think in finding the third base, he might move out. There is a spire on its way down, so we know that the mutas are coming, especially since that is the title of the game. But what are you going to do against muta? Well, you're going to use less than 50% of your giant army is stalkers. There we go. So he sees that there. Any movement? No. Third observer? Yep, on the way. Psionic Storm. That's what happens when he's gas heavy. He gets himself some Psionic Storm. And he's even chrono boosting it. That's pretty cool. Probably want to get some High Templars. Look at that. Once again, right ahead of me. And there is another observer. So the 3-gate robo, Griff pretty much just decides to do 3 to 4 observers. And here comes some more scouting by ArcaneCream. Look at that Zealot. That Zealot is on top of this. Can you explain to me why an observer sitting right there, if you look at Griff's view, it does say changeling, but it does not come up as the opposite faction, the opposite color. I think that observer got far too close to this army, and holy cow, but that's a 0-0 roach. It's a 1-0. Whew. Oh my, yes, that's pretty... Yeah, that's a lot of everything. A pretty solidly heavy roach. It's 152 supply to 118, so Griff is just just effectively behind. Going behind at 50 APM. I think the observer should change that over to red, and your units should just automatically attack it. This I find is sort of amusing there. Meantime, there's a split. Third base. Worker supply is pretty even, which is cool, which means that Griff's got that and that saturated. The 2 bases saturated. Probably about ready to move to a third one because look at the money. Yes, he's high temps and charge lot, so charge lot Archon kind of trying to get out some immortals. There was another I heard it, don't worry, I heard it. 29 units in his unit army, 164 units in ArcaneCream. Do you two ever run at each other, or is ArcaneCream just waiting to... I'm going to speed things up for a minute and see if anything happens. There's some movement down there on... Oh, no, that's just Overlord. Silly me! Oh, here we go. Alright, so ArcaneCream has finally decided that they're going to send 8 Mutalisks and an Automaton 2000. Interesting strategy. We'll see if it works out. So Griff has pretty much defended himself there. Got pretty lucky that the mutas didn't come in the top, which is sort of odd since that's closer to where the base is. But I think it's possible that with all of these observers around, Griff actually saw these mutas coming. And come on, ArcaneCream, just go in. Look, there's your automaton. There he is. I added them to the group. There you go. Go attack. Take the automaton. Look, he is the utility bot of choice. How can you say no to the utility bot of choice? Right? You can't. That's why. Oh no, and he's moved his stalkers that were here for the defense. Let's see what happens here. So the mutas come in, they take out pylon number 1, and Griff is in a little bit of supply trouble. He cannot warp in all that many units. He can only bring in 2 stalkers. That's not good. Here come the immortals who cannot shoot up to save us from the mutalisks. Here come a few more mutalisks. What kind of mutaball do we have now? We have 12. 12 isn't bad, but still stuck at 156 because I don't think Griff realized that he lost a pylon and therefore needs to build another one. I have sentries. Do I have... Where are those? There they are. Oh, look at that. So there's the mutas. There's a couple of them. But here's what happens when you let a Zerg sit over on his base for a long time. He starts to take this out. That's intriguing. That's going to go down pretty fast. But meantime, Griff is a little bit thrown off by this over here. And oh, we're going to see some Storm. Oh, I love Storm. Look at the Storm. He's going to storm his own probes. We're probably going to have to have another look down at the other fight that's happening at the moment. And there's some Archons. And oh, I like that. I'm a big fan of Archons. Alright, so let's come down and watch this frontline battle. One more. One more. There they are. So they're taking out the rocks. Now we know the mutas don't live because some cool stuff happens. But here we go at 153 to 110. That brick is gone, so Griff cannot rely on that. And his army gets totally split up. This is pretty much a shame. 143 to 90 now, and here's the rest of them. Most of these Immortals are not doing all that much good because with an army of this composition, by this point, at 20 minutes in, you really either want to have these particular Archons up near the front, or you want to have your Colossus laying along the back with extended Thermal Lance. However, they are +2 up against +1, so that's not bad. And 4 Immortals against that amount of Roaches is pretty much going to be picking them off pretty steadily, 106.42. So Griff, after that initial kind of cluster F, now he's starting to even things out. The only problem there is that ArcaneCream still is at the liberty of building more. Whereas Griff, he's at +3, thinks he's doing well, but look at this. Here's the next set of army because of how much larva they've got. Oh, and here they come again. Pretty big unit. The Archons do help against the Zerglings, but I just don't think there's enough. If there were maybe 5 or 6 Archons, this would be game over, but the Archons just can't quite take out everyone fast enough with splash damage. These 2 Immortals are not enough to go up against these Roaches. It's just a pretty small unit composition. There was a chance he was still in it, because look at that money. Probably wanted another expansion. There's 6 gateways, a Templar Archives, 1 Robo, 1 Forge. He was on 3-0. Yeah. 32 APM. So what we've learned here is build. Build more so you can spend more. I mean, I'm not saying two base he probably still could have been pretty much alright, because if he had another few gateways, that would have been spent. If he'd had another robo facility. Immortals earlier on, quite a lot of observers. I do like the observers, but Immortals earlier on transition into Colossus, but Griff doesn't really like Colossus all that much. So that was a Griff venture of Griff number. I'm bad with numbers. Anyway, if you like that, leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggyzig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, @ZiggyStarcraft. Is there a yin-yang on the inside of this robo facility? That's sort of weird. Or, if you like more of seeing Griff and I faff about and do funny adventures, then you can check out our other channel over at youtube.com/limenotlemon. Stay tuned.